pulls up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's about to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
We have no sound.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Sports Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan, and I have three of the finest gentlemen in podcasting, and hopefully Tony C will be on his way as well. Add the provisional fifth to the crew. But first, let me bring on El Presidente, my man, my brother Josh, the man also known as Sunrise. Then I got my man, the baseball expert, and we ran 7 in. What's up, 7?
What's up, buddy?
Chilling. And finally, the man who we just call the Dick.
The
Dick. Bring it down. What's up, man?
What's up, bud? How are you?
Chilling. Hopefully, we got Tony C coming up later. I did send him that link. Hopefully, he'll come up. I'll try to hit him up once again. But first, I want to take this a different direction. Because we normally start off with any baseball news, but we are all so passionate about this. We want to take this a different direction. And it, quite frankly, pissed me the hell off. Zach
start off with this?
Yes. I want to, guys, because I want to get in it. I want to get in it because it pissed me off.
I just saw the video 18 seconds ago.
Bro.
And I need this Southern Comfort right now. This is what I need.
Bro. We can take turns. We can start with Josh, then we can go to 7, Dan, and me. But I am heated. Because stuff like this doesn't make any sense. Josh, I'm gonna let you take it first, man.
So I'm gonna start off with these two Will and 7 were talking about this in our group, I think last Tuesday or Wednesday when it happened. And I went and looked it up, and I purposely did not go and watch the video. Because in what these two were saying, I was just like, it is just going to make me mad. So then I think Friday, I finally went and watched it after it had been being talked about on all the sports shows. Oh, my God. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Like, what is Zach Stacy? I don't know his what he was billed at when he was playing, but I would say from the video, 6'5", probably 250 pounds.
He's 6'1", about 230 is what his listed weight, height and weight was.
So
he is a big
1, 230. The
He's
woman that he threw across the
guy.
room probably wasn't over 5 foot, 130 pounds.
She's a
And
little taller. She about 5'3", 5'4", but still, yes, not over 110 pounds.
there's no other way to put this. That motherfucker forced through her across the room. And when I say that, he Star Wars threw her across the room. Like, the way that he grabbed her and picked her up like it was nothing and threw her against that TV. And then repeatedly continued to pick her up and throw her across the room. And that made me mad. But what really made me mad is that his 5-month-old child was sitting there watching the entire thing. And Will has told me since then that there has been reports coming out that he has actually thrown her with the child in her arms. That is not a man. That is a piece of shit.
Mm.
Oh, and you know what? Let me just go ahead and do this.
That's a coward. That's a coward. Yes.
I think you're going to do Dick of the Week, and I was going to be like, we already know.
Oh, yeah, there's no
doubt about it.
Dan, I'm picking for you. The Dick of the Week is Zach Stacy, because this man deserves...
Growing up in a household that was like that, here's what I'm going to say. Now, there's a few different sides of this. Clearly, there's a mental health issue here. And one of the things that I cannot and will not ever condone Zach Stacy's behavior. He deserves to be in jail. He deserves to be under the jail. One of the things that is important for us to remember is that man spent the formative part of 10 to 15 years going through multiple car wrecks a week physically with the damage to his body and his head. So, and we also have to look at, the type of environment he grew up in. While we don't know a lot about that yet, a lot of that hasn't come out. the chances are that this is a fucking cycle for him. And this is what he knows. Especially, I mean, even if we just look at the experience he has as an athlete. Violence is what this man knows. When he gets worked up, he gets violent. This is a horrible situation that has damaged a child, because even if that child doesn't have an accurate memory of what happened, that child is still going to have to grow up at some point with the knowledge of what happened between dad and mom.
He'll learn about it. The one blessing there is he's too young to remember it. That's the one fucking blessing. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, this is
For the most
unfortunately
part.
with the factor of his dad being a public eye. Eventually, at some point, it's gonna come out in his life.
He's
I mean,
He's gonna see the video.
he's gonna be
But-
he's gonna be more known for this than what he did in his football career. That's a damn
I mean,
shame.
that's not a stretch, though. I mean, let's be honest here. You don't get cut from the Jets because you're a good fucking football player.
God no.
But
Well, the team they drafted him in the Rams, so
it's there's no excuse for his behavior. But we have a man who his career is suddenly gone, and he just spent the last 10 to 15 years going through multiple car crashes a week in competition, and also all of the training he had to do to prepare his body to go through multiple car crashes a week. This is another testament to the fact that the NFL has made strides in making sure that players are taken care of when it comes to their health and the damage that the game puts on their body. But clearly, they can do more. And Zach Stacy's going to get his in jail. Like, we can all just, I mean, the man's in jail. He turned himself in, but
Just for the record on Zach Stacy's playing career, guys, he was never anything more than a one-trick pony goal line back. There was not really anything else to his game.
yeah,
But he played the NFL.
But-
So, I mean, you know,
I mean,
he's
just
still a
the fact
talented
that he was an
individual to a
NFL
point.
player is notable.
right.
But
but
I mean, you got to figure out of NFL players, you get what 50, 60 guys who are going to be really well known. Most of them
we'll
probably
just
won't be super known throughout
Right.
their career.
right.
And
Unless you're like in the same room with him, Josh, right? Like,
yeah,
unless you're like,
yeah.
Oh, that's,
I
I
mean,
used to play in the NFL. Like, that's
I
really
don't have the flag up, but I have a Texans flag that has several old Oilers and Texans to sign it. I couldn't tell you not one of them.
right,
Not
Right.
one of them.
right. Unless somebody was like, "Hey, Josh, that guy over there is Warren Moon," you'd be like, "Oh no, I'm just kidding." But
Well, Warren Moon I might, or
Right,
Warren
right, me
Moon,
too.
or Earl Campbell I might recognize, but
Zach
those two
Stacy,
guys are about the only two guys from the Oilers that I'm going to be like, holy shit!
Seneca
Yeah.
Wallace. Nobody's recognized Seneca
no,
Wallace.
you didn't
these
bring
days,
that
guys.
name. I have not heard that name in
Wow, he just said
forever.
Seneca Wallace.
Wow.
That's a shout out to my buddy Josh Riggs.
Wow.
Seneca, he knows what I'm talking about. The Seneca Wallace, man.
Wow.
Seneca Wallace. Ain't nobody but they're in a room with him.
I
Because
mean, it's kind of like I'd put it up there. Plexico Burris. He never
I would
was
recognize
really,
Plaxico Burris.
I
but
don't
he
know
was
who
never
Flexico is.
not because you don't really recognize him for his play. You
Yes, I
recognize him because of the
Because he
trouble
shot
he
himself
got
in the
He
leg.
shot himself in the
when he was
foot.
in the league.
shot
That's why
himself
you
in the-
recognize the man.
he
The
shot
fact that
himself
he's
in
been
the
in
foot.
jail.
He shot himself in the foot.
He was never that good as an NFL player.
His
He
9
had
millimeter.
one good season. One
He
good.
was hey.
He was
He had-
okay.
He had
Yeah,
4 or 5 years.
yeah, he was
Well,
okay.
No,
well,
he
I'm
only
with
had really one good season.
he was alright.
Well, I'm with you.
He had a short
He was
career. I'll give you a
alright.
short
He was alright.
career.
He was a good goal line receiver. A good
I
He
would
was
have
a better
receiver.
returner than anything else.
Josh, let me
Right.
put it this way. In Madden 2007, I would have drafted Plaxico Burris as my third wide receiver.
Heck yeah, in a
I
heartbeat.
mean, yeah, but
in a
that would have been
heartbeat.
the only season he'd done anything for you.
In a heartbeat. He wasn't that bad. He really
He
wasn't
wasn't.
bad.
And
Big
that's
dude,
the thing.
big
is
dude,
He
jump balls.
he just had a quick drop off. I mean, you know, we get so accustomed to so many of these big names in the NFL that will last 10 years, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, get to that point where they're a veteran and get NFL benefits for life. But that's exactly what they're trying to do is they're trying to get to that 10-year mark because then they get the benefits for life.
Also,
You're not going to
Josh,
have.
dude
Go ahead.
caught the big. Sorry, 7. Also, dude caught the biggest touchdown in the history of the Giants organization.
That's true.
7, go ahead.
That's
Sorry.
true.
That's what.
Well, no, and so, but we get spoiled by that, especially as people that watch this stuff on a regular basis. You get we become familiar with a lot of names that the casual fan isn't going to know. But I mean, Plaxico Burress is 5 years in the NFL where his name mattered something. That's 5 more years in the NFL than Dan's name mattered. That's 5 more years than Josh's name mattered.
100%.
I mean, and so but the thing of it is like with my frustration with these type of situations is the NFL is going to dump a bunch of money into these guys that have been around the league for 10, 15 years and really help make the league a solid amount of money. They're gonna provide a bunch of benefits to them. But Zach Stacy was in the league for what, between the Rams and the Jets, 3 years?
Yes.
4 years?
Yeah,
Somewhere in there?
I think it was
4?
Mhm.
Okay. 4 years in the NFL. And yeah, okay, one trick pony as a goal line running back. That's where they put the most energy into hitting your ass to keep you from going fucking in. This dude got rocked a bunch of times.
That's why kickoffs have gotten bad or no fun in the NFL anymore, because they've taken so much out of it.
I just think that I understand mental health. I do, because us as men, we all have issues. But at the same point, I'm not going to give him the NFL as an excuse for his actions.
No,
That's
You
what I'm saying.
know right from wrong. And at the end of the day, you knew what you were doing was wrong. And for you to take that approach with a woman that ain't even 100 pounds soaking wet compared to you being 216, 220.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a fat 216, 220. I'm talking about a solid 216,
Yeah.
220.
Brick shit house.
Yeah.
No. I'm not trying to lessen his actions. What I'm saying is that there is a gap in things being taken care of for these individuals. And the importance behind that is these are the ones that are an actual danger to society. And that's the problem.
7.
Because you look at Dan, you and I have joked about it multiple times. The Chiefs, the player for the Chiefs that took his life in the Arrowhead Stadium parking lot. What was his name?
Javon Belcher.
Javon Belcher. Okay. This is another Javon Belcher case without the fact that he killed himself, without all the bloodshed, because this dude has a lot of damage. And while the resources may have been available to him, I'm not going to say they weren't taken advantage of. And it's these guys that are smaller name that we don't realize who they are until we have to look up their shit.
Right.
That are that are causing these things to happen. So there is a gap somewhere that needs to be taken care of. That's what I'm saying.
100%. And I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say also, dude, Zach Stacy is one of those guys who we have repeatedly talked about, who is going a little bit nuts. And I think that what me and Seven I think you were trying to get at was that I think these problems are deeper than we know about. I think a lot of these guys who come out of the NFL are fucked in the head really fast, dude. Like I think that impact and stuff is bad. Also, we're not trying to defend his actions. He got hit in the head a lot. He did that for a living. That's still on him. That's still on him. He chose
exactly
every one of those fucking games in the NFL. He knew everything that was coming on him for taking those shots to the head. But that does not change the fact that when he took those shots to the head, it still impacted him as a human being, and it probably in a negative way. And I don't think we know how deep that goes right now with ex-NFL players or ex-football players at all, college football players, NFL players.
And to sort of kind of, I do see what Seven is going with this though, because if that's all you know, if that's all you grew up with at home, then you're going to act that out because that's what you grew up with. But at the same point, your right or wrong reflex has to come into play at some point. And when it
absolutely should have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you hit the mother of your kid while she's holding the kid in front of the kid might not be young enough to remember it, but the kid shouldn't have to go through that. And that's why I posted on Facebook. That's not a man. That's a coward. That's a coward.
That a bitch.
Will 100%. And also think about this. Seven just mentioned the fact that he grew up in a broken home with abuse. Correct?
Right. Yeah.
Does he abuse?
No.
He doesn't.
No.
Like, you can change your own life.
You
You have choices.
One of the things that constantly runs through my head as a parent, 100% of the time is, and I did not grow up in an abusive home. My parents were good, but I still want to be better than them. And that's
Right.
something my own
Right.
parents tell me
Right.
is be better than me.
Right.
Don't make the mistakes I did. And
Right.
we're human.
So-
I know I make mistakes with my kids. It happens. I'm not perfect, but I've never
There
laid a
is-
hand on their mother. I've never laid a
Mhm.
hand on them. I try really hard to control my anger. I'm not always good at it, but
Here's
It's a crapshoot.
you
the thing.
you have to go into parenting and try and be better than what you had.
Right.
Here's to understand the importance here of taking care that taking care of your mind has. Just this season, we have an NFL player that stepped away
Ignore. I'm bringing it up for later.
because of his mental health. Calvin Ridley ended his season to take care of his mental health. He said, I am not okay. I need to take care of this. This is more important than football. And I respect him for it. When he comes back to the NFL, if he's still playing for his Lions, right? If I remember correctly, he's playing for the Lions.
Yes.
You bet your ass I'm going to buy a Calvin Ridley jersey. And I'm going to hang it up on my wall because
Play for the
I
Falcons.
have.
Oh.
Is it Falcons?
Falcons, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't care. I will buy his fucking jersey for whatever team he plays for, unless
18.
it's the Raiders, because fuck the Raiders. Because
18
fuck the
for
Raiders.
Falcons.
Because there is nothing wrong in any way. There is nothing wrong for taking that step back and saying I need help. Calvin Ridley chose to get help. Zach Stacy chose to ruin his children's life in his own.
Yep.
That's the difference.
It
And
doesn't
I'm
make it so-
sorry. This
We're
kind of
adversely
goes back to
affected.
what we were talking about 2 weeks ago with these guys in the NFL when we were talking about the dude that was driving 150 drunk and killed a
Oh,
woman,
God.
and just thinking they're above everything and thinking that they can get away
Really?
with this stuff.
Really quick on that. I will say, and as much as it sometimes causes me physical pain, Mark Davis went to Tina Tantra's funeral. Mark Davis is a great, and Al Davis actually went when after Derek Thomas of the Chiefs had his bad accident. Al Davis went and sat in the hospital with Derek Thomas and talked to him and spent time with him. I'm not a fan of the Raiders organization because I'm a Chiefs fan. I have been since I was a kid. That's not going to change. But the Davis family, they're not bad.
one of the better owners in the league.
They're sneaky.
Agreed.
They're sneaky good and sneaky cool. Like those
Yeah.
They
guys
don't-
are cool people.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I will always respect them for that, even though, as always, hashtag fuck the Raiders. But no, it's a choice. It's always a choice. Addiction, mental health. It's always a choice. And now, unfortunately, the problem is sometimes the sickness is so bad you can't see that other option. And that's the part that we need to work on. We need to work on the stigma around men's mental health. And all of that, because
Seven, why are you even talking about that, you fucking pussy?
go fuck yourself.
That's exactly
Um,
that's exactly what you're gonna hear though. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
That's the
Like, that's what I'm
stigma
saying.
That Seven and Will and me and all of us are one of the things we all try and break is it is not weak for a man to admit that he has issues. It is strong. It is the strongest thing you can do to say I need
It
help.
literally comes down to the difference between Calvin Ridley and Zach Stacy.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take care of your mental health, that's the road that you're choosing. But if you take the Calvin Ridley road and you get
Uh-oh.
What
nah.
happened?
What the hell?
Will was gonna say something and he wanted to single it out. No, Josh is gonna say something.
We went into
So-
solo layout, and I have no
I don't
idea
know.
how that happened.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
You know, and Calvin Ridley. I mean, there were even people saying, "Oh, you're an NFL player. What's wrong?" By the way, to those people, please don't just go fuck yourself. Just take a flying leap into a shallow pond off of a very tall cliff, because we don't need your input. You're part of the problem, not the solution. And I say that with zero regret of who it offends.
What's up, Pun? How you doing?
You have a knife, run into it.
Exactly. Like as many times as you need to. Like befriend Hillary Clinton. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just fuck off. But if you take, but Calvin Ridley, he gets to take that break knowing that normal people actually respect him. And he has the ability to be on a platform where he can make change. The only thing Zach Stacy's got to do is hope to God that the person that makes him his bitch in prison is a nice person.
Please don't be. Please don't be.
Oh man.
On that note, I think we
right.
should take a break.
Yes, let's go ahead and take a commercial
And then when
break.
we come back, I want to talk some college football before we get into NFL.
We're also going to talk about prison.
And we still need to. I think we got a little bit of baseball to talk about.
I mean, it's not really a big deal. Shohei won MVP. Nobody was surprised. Like that's it.
I was more surprised that Dusty Baker was
neck
third.
and neck.
I was more surprised that Dusty Baker was third in the AL managers.
Wait. Somebody needs to throw that up in Stephen A's face.
Oh yeah.
He said
he doesn't give a fuck
good for baseball, and the man just won MVP.
And on top of that, to Shohei's credit, the country of Japan wanted to give him national honors. He said, "No, I haven't done enough yet."
Oh my God!
See?
Do not ever besmirch that motherfucker's name in my presence. I will punch you in the dick.
But that's why we say on this show, "Fuck Stephen A."
Yeah, fuck Stephen A.
I agree.
We'll be
He's
right
going to
back.
be on the show eventually.
So that was Geek Gauntlet Podcast. You catch that Saturdays with Will Shaw and his two new people. So go check that out on Twitch every Saturday, talking all things geek. Will, I finally finished The Mandalorian this past week.
I know you liked it. I know you loved it. I know you loved it.
Dude. Well, and then I am a
man.
giant,
I cannot wait for Ahsoka.
I am giant.
Me
She
neither.
was so good. She was so good in season 2. Rosario was so good as her. But I am a giant Boba fan. Book of Fett. I'm so ready.
It's on the way.
So ready.
Hey guys, I hate to say this right now at this certain time, but never a fan of the Star Wars
Goodbye,
movies.
Dan.
Never a fan.
I tried repeatedly to watch the original trilogy, and I just was not impressed. I
you-
don't get. Okay, I'm not saying they're bad movies. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I don't understand the freakish fandom of Star Wars. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
It
I'm
has
sorry.
to do with kids. Like I grew up on it. I watched the first one when I was like 5.
Me
And
too.
loved it. But I loved it
Star
right away.
Star Wars fanboys, like, I'll put it like this. I've come to realize this, and I had this realization that every fan base has those toxic fans. Those toxic fans are why we aren't going to get a sequel to Solo, which was arguably one of the best Disney made Star Wars movies.
Rogue One, but
I mean, I one of fucking listen. It's the toxic. It's that toxic piece of the fan base. They're just like like LeBron fans, just those toxic LeBron fans that will blow smoke up, and say, like, I know that Dan, I know you're not one of those, but just so that you can kind of understand where I'm coming from, because just talking about this like last night or some shit. Those stereotypical fans that refuse to accept reality, they are what ruins Star Wars. Just like those LeBron stans are what ruin what LeBron is actually doing for the game of basketball.
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm also going back. I never finished the last 3 that they just did, and I'm going back, and I'm in the middle of the last one right now, and they're not as bad as people said, but there are issues with it that I don't like, and they're not wrong. If you're a Mandalorian fan, Bill Burr has a better
that's correct.
story arc. Bill Burr has a better story arc as an ex-stormtrooper in 2 episodes of The Mandalorian than Finn has in 3 movies.
Yep.
And
hands down.
And that is all because in watching the 2 movies, watching the movie and watching Mandalorian feels so Star Wars. It just feels it. It feels it. Jon Favreau just did such a good job of making you feel Star Wars.
Because
the
original
movies
trilogy
were
was
almost
supposed to
too
be
good,
like a space western.
too clean, too CGI.
Hey guys,
Lucas,
I don't mean to live up in my name here, but this is called
Sports
Sports Report.
Sports
And
Report.
We're
Sorry,
about
guys,
to get to it.
You guys
Actually,
also have a really good podcast. Which I'm just going to start repping shows now. Be like, you guys also have a really good
tomorrow,
podcast.
a really good podcast. We're going to be talking about
There
Christmas
you go.
movies.
See how that works out? We just start plugging different shows.
So, yeah, but
Hey, whoever's doing the animations for those fucking advertisements, by the way, you guys are doing a great fucking job. Whoever's doing that, I was like, these are really fucking cool.
those
The
ones,
video game
one of
one
those
with
is
Mario and shit.
old Dean, but the double XP, that's Kay. Kay does her own.
Okay, goddamn. Shout out. Good job.
But I did back to sports. Before we move into college football and to football in general, I wanted to bring this up. We talked about this last night, Will, and I don't usually bring up wrestling on this show, and I'm not really. But if you saw it all, WWE released another round of employees last week. This makes over 60 releases this year. I am asking, just from a sports fan to sports fan, not talking about wrestling. And I'm actually asking these 2 guys down here. Is there any reason that you do not believe that Vince McMahon is about to sell this company?
It's close. It's got to be.
Yep.
He is, in the last 2 years, he's released over 100 plus talent.
Layoffs
Josh,
before bankruptcy and selling company. Yeah.
I think that you're definitely more in tune with this than I am, and I think that all points are. It's pointing that.
I'm just asking y'all sports fans who've seen this on other sides.
Right. And here's what I hate about it. Vince McMahon is going to be so freaking bored when he is done. Like, that dude is going to try and buy back into AEW. He's going to try and do something because he's not going to stay out of that wrestling game that long,
Truly,
bro.
this is what I see. He sells it and he dies 6 months later.
Right. That's exactly.
Just because I believe
20%
that is
twisted
the
job.
only thing keeping him alive.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It's bad.
Here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying he would die with the assumption that anybody in the afterlife wants to deal with his bullshit.
Right. By the way,
But,
guys,
okay.
I just watched randomly the Stone Cold Steve Austin where he comes and hits him with the bedpan when he's in the hospital. I fucking love it. I watched that live actually. Oh my god, I loved that. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But
We're
that's
talking
all.
about the Mandalorian again.
No, that's all I wanted to bring up on that. I just wanted some non-wrestling fans, sports fans' opinions on that because I personally believe when the new quarter starts, WWE will be sold.
Dump it for what? Like, how much is it going to sell for?
Well,
Honest
you
estimate.
figure he sold just the library to Peacock for $250 million.
I was going to say between
And then
$3
both
and
of
$4
his
billion.
deals, and then both of his deals with USA and Fox are worth like $3 and $4 million. And so he's gonna get $1 billion for it.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get $1 billion.
In the
It's-
billions of dollars.
The only thing I will say on that before we move on to real sports, I'm
Texas
kidding.
worth more than
But the thing of it is I know there's been some speculation that somebody's going to buy it just for having the content in the library and that they're not going to continue the live shows. If you buy the WWE brand and you're not continuing the live shows,
That kills it.
It kills it.
You're wasting
It's
your
done.
fucking money.
You're
It's
not.
done.
I know.
It's
I know.
done.
People's thing is WWE hasn't been making off of live shows and merch for a few years, and they haven't. But things like all their content, everything don't work if they're not doing live shows and still in wrestling. I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. The company
It's
dies.
your loss
if you
leader.
try
It's
to
your
do that.
loss leader to get everybody on. But okay, let's go.
All right, college football. Was anybody happy where their team is standing in college football right now?
No.
You're hilarious, Josh.
No.
Ask
won.
Dan.
We won.
Ask Dan about the Nebraska game.
We won. but-
He was very happy with that
Guys,
result.
I wish we could bring the clip up. I'm not even joking. I wish we could bring the clip. Can we please
What
do
clip?
I want Nebraska Wisconsin pass interference. Just look up Nebraska
So
Wisconsin.
while
pass
I'm pulling that up,
yeah.
so I brought this up. So y'all give me shit because I root for a team that no one's heard of. But I have to say, the last 5 minutes of this game on Saturday against UAB for UTSA to win the Conference USA West was one of the best endings of a football game I have ever seen in my life. I'm not going to show all 4 minutes. I'm going to skip ahead at points, but I want to show this.
Good run.
Okay, so it's what 34-24?
Yeah, that was where UAB went up.
31-20. Okay.
That was where UAB went up.
To the sideline. Great throw.
That foot drag was
Great
amazing.
throw. Great throw. Sideline to sideline, hash to hash. That's an NFL.
That's
an NFL
great
throw.
awareness. Yeah.
I like that lefty.
In coverage.
Is that your team, Josh? It is.
Yes,
UT.
this is my
Okay.
team.
Okay. Your team's
They're
in
11-0.
Your team's in blue and orange.
Yep.
I like that. Blue and orange. Well, thanks for telling me the ending of the fucking game. They're 11-0. They're 10-0 now, so that makes it.
Well, this was the turning
Ohio
point
wins.
right here. UAB did not go for this. And they kicked it away.
What are you doing? Run the.
Yeah. Their coach is getting a lot of
Wow.
shit for that.
Minute 6 at their own 21-3.
Half field.
How is there not 8 DBs on the field right now? They have. There is. They're running straight dime.
Yep.
Three safety cover 3 right now. Deep. Look, deep as you can go.
Yep.
And they're getting
See,
beat
and this
still.
is why I do things like. Look
How
at
do
it.
you get beat? How
Wow.
do you get beat
Yeah.
right there?
Oh, that catch. I love it.
That throw too.
You see,
Ah.
and those, and what sucks is these are the type of kids that aren't going to get as much attention and maybe not even get invited to the combine. But there's clearly talent there, and that kind of, That's the kind of shit you want in the
To the
NFL.
one.
That's
Top
the type
the
of stuff.
one.
To the one.
Ugh, yes.
They have no timeouts.
No timeouts.
They just got to run
Well,
something.
they were like trying to get together spiked, but there was actually an injury on the field, so they got a free timeout.
Wow.
That's always a good thing.
Wow. You look at all of the UAB guys looking at their teammate like, you motherfucker.
They tried, missed it.
7
Watch
seconds.
this play.
Plenty of time.
Bobbles it. Tipped. Touchdown.
Oh my God.
That's and here's the thing. That is a team that is falling that they just fell apart. Just crumbled. And no disrespect to
UTSA.
UTSA, right? But
No. I
Yeah.
watched that entire game. Literally that entire game on ESPN Plus. And it was back and forth. It was back and forth the whole thing. But when UAB scored that last touchdown and made it 31-27, I was like, shit. Then I thought, there's no way they don't go for that. It was literally like an inch. Like the announcers were talking about how they can't even measure it because it was so close.
You got a QB sneak that or give that to a running back behind a fullback all day long and just show everybody that you
The
can
other
get
fact is
half an inch.
UTSA has done that 3 times this season. They've done that before this season where they have ran it down in the last seconds to win a game.
mhm.
But I had to show that because that was one of the more exciting things in football I'd seen in a long time. And just to show off, because yes, after that win, they still dropped in the polls. They're number 20 now, coming up from 15. But it was showing that even 2-3 star ranked players can do some freaking talented things. And you're right, Seven.
Absolutely.
UAB fell apart in the
They
end.
did.
And
Well, and
that was theirs to win, to go on, because if they'd have won that, they'd have won the West. Now UTSA won the West. And
the other game that I was gonna
What was-
mention was Michigan State
that was brutal.
getting blown out by Ohio State.
That was brutal. I believe Ohio, Georgia college championship.
Hey Tony, guess how many white guys play in Michigan State's secondary? Hang on,
Hey,
3 of them. I'm not joking.
Hey,
Isn't Michigan
Will,
State the
Will,
school
am I
where
wrong?
You ain't
Am I
wrong. You ain't wrong.
isn't Michigan State the school where that coach was like, we need more black people?
Yes. He just
hey
said
Dan,
we
what
need
did you
more
want to
black
see
guys.
with Nebraska?
Do Nebraska Wisconsin pass interference call? So it'll only be like 10 seconds long. It's really just the last.
Look,
So-
I don't know what's going on with Tony. See, I done hit the link up in his Facebook Messenger. I done sent it to his email several times. I took a picture and sent it to him to his cell phone.
Did you see that Cowboys game? He don't want to come on here, man.
He might
That's
be
why.
running. He might be running.
He doesn't
might
want to
be
come on
running.
here, man.
He might be
He's
running
worried
for
about that
7.
case of Dr. Pepper he owes me.
He's probably gonna watch.
Um,
He's probably gonna watch this part later. He's gonna be like, "You motherfuckers."
Okay.
Hey, so here you go. 4th and 20, guys. 4th and 20. 11 seconds left. Nebraska all year is they're 3-7. They've lost 7 games by a total of 49 points. I'm gonna say that again. They have lost 7 games by a total of 49 points. They've played Ohio State. They've played all the big boys. They're up against 15 Wisconsin right now. 4th and 20 on Wisconsin's what it looks like 20. I think it's the 21-yard line. So they have to get to the 1.
Finally got the email.
There he
you go.
is.
There he is.
Hey,
What's up,
man?
fellas?
What's
All
up,
right, here we
man?
go.
is this pass interference? And if any of you say it is not, we're gonna have a serious conversation. Here we go. Roll it.
Let me see the play.
Oh, we talking about how Nebraska got screwed.
Yep. Okay, they're gonna slow-mo it. The slow-mo is way better, and even live action looks bad. Even live, I went, "What the fuck was that?" Even live, that doesn't look good.
They're going to
Nope.
show a slow-mo.
No. Oh yeah, they're gonna show a slow-mo. No flags on the field, mind you. Scott Frost is about to have a seizure. Look at him. He doesn't know what's going on.
Dan, how many games have y'all lost this season by 7 points or less?
I was just saying that, Tony. That's
Right.
crazy. Look, how is guys? How
What-
is
Clearly
that not
pass
the most
interference.
blatant? How is that not the most
Yeah,
blatant
he got there
pass
early as
interference
hell.
call of
Yeah.
all time?
He wasn't even looking at the football.
That is
No.
so bad.
He wasn't
He's not
looking
even
at the
trying to play it
football.
off like he
he's
was
not even.
looking at
He's
the
not. Yeah, he's
football.
not even trying to play it off. Why
The
does
ball hit-
Scott Frost look like Matthew Berry?
That might be his doctor.
Losing it, bro. Scott Frost, Matthew Berry
Oh, you found my gloves.
lost it. He
That's-
I'm just saying, how's that not the most blatant pass interference call
No, it
Very
of
is.
blatant.
all time?
Yeah, that
And
was,
they not one flag on the field. Nebraska played great that whole game. They've lost eight games now by a total of 56 points. 8 games by 50.
damn. So that's a
Mm.
touchdown. Wow.
Yeah,
They
touchdown
lost to
again. That's
Ohio.
it.
Touchdown
They lost to
again.
Ohio State by 9. They lost to Michigan State in overtime. They just lost
We
to
beat
Wisconsin
y'all by 7.
by 7. Yep.
Right?
They've hung in every single game, and it just crushes my soul to even watch them at this point, because I literally looked at my girlfriend and I was like, hey, this is going to get bad in the second half. I was like, I already know it's going to. Like, they were up at halftime, and I was like, here we go. Here we go. They're just going to choke it right down the barrel, and that's exactly what they did. Right? I
All
don't
right,
know.
guys. All
rough.
right, guys. I would Boston brag the FSU won, but we Boston College. So what the heck? That's not worth bragging and boasting.
I mean, you got 3 undefeated teams now. You got Georgia, Cincy, UTSA. I'm pretty sure
rub that one in there.
he
Hey,
is. He is.
we already talked about it. You missed it, Tony C. We
My
watched
bad.
one of the greatest drives in football this weekend.
Yeah, y'all
We-
closed it out. Y'all
Did you
did
see that drive? Did you
Yeah,
see
I
that?
saw it. Y'all did
You-
y'all thing, man.
UAB's defensive coordinator needs to get canned.
Fire.
Well,
Right.
offense. It was offense. They should have went for that.
Old boy from Florida already got gone.
It's called a Dan Mullen.
Dude.
You got to get Dan Mullen now.
Old boy from
It's-
Florida already gone.
UAB is
That's
probably playing a
Dan
bunch of
Mullen.
UAB was probably
What-
playing a bunch of white guys in the secondary.
But
So
Ah.
I noticed that Wake Forest lost to Clemson, and
Yeah,
I'm more
they did.
curious how Wake Forest got to being ranked 10th with how
'Cause they
they
only
look.
have
Because
one
I
loss.
watched a decent chunk of that game. One loss or not, they look like shit.
well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at the rankings here, and I mean,
Your
you
schedule
or
got a lot to do
9
with
and
that
2
too.
at 11.
Your schedule has a lot to do with that too.
Oh, and I agree. I agree. UTSA strength of schedules like 130. Like they're not going to be ranked, and there's a lot of people saying they should be looked at the playoffs. I was like, why do you want to do that to us? Why do you want to watch us go get our ass kicked?
Right.
I
Like-
think it'd be
No,
interesting.
they don't want that smoke. They don't want
No.
that smoke.
No,
No.
what UTSA needs to do, they have UNT this week. That should be an easy win for them to go undefeated for the season. Then it looks like they're going to end up playing WYU for the championship, which should also probably be a good win for them. And then I'm hoping they get the Independence Bowl. Because if they can get the Independence Bowl, the winner of the Independence Bowl gets $2 million.
I
There
respect
it
Josh.
is.
I respect Josh because Josh actually looked through all the NCAA teams in his city, and he found one to hang his hat on, and he going with it. I got to give you that, Josh. I got to give you that, bro. You
Texans
sticking
need a
with
winner
him,
right now,
man.
man. Texans
like-
need a winner
oh,
right now. Don't blame
yeah.
them.
The only teams to watch in Texas right now are UTSA and U of H.
Yep.
They're the only 2 teams doing good things in football, right? Even though my Texans beat the number
I
1
know
team
you-
in the AFL in the AFC this week.
The AFL.
They ain't number one,
Number two
number-
in the AFL.
No, they're number 1 in the AFC East because
No. The announcers said it over and over and over again because of the fact that the Titans had won 6 in a row. They were the top team in the AFC right
Oh
now.
yeah, y'all just beat the Titans. My bad.
Yes.
I thought
They
it
had
was
won
Buffalo.
6
No,
in a
Indy
row.
beat Buffalo. My bad.
Yep.
Indy beat
And
Buffalo.
so-
I got y'all confused. You right,
The
Joe.
top team in the AFC
You are
all together, one of the best teams in the league right now.
Come on,
And we
man.
not only beat them, but we beat them at home.
But come on, man. You know that defense trash. Come on, man. You know
Well,
that Titans defense trash.
It's also the fact Tannehill had 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles.
Yep.
Did Derrick
Yep.
Henry play in that game?
No.
Hell no.
Oh,
No,
he
he
didn't,
ain't
did
play.
he?
No,
Okay,
and then
I'm sorry.
AJ Brown
The
went
most
out hurt.
dominant player offensively outside of quarterbacks in the
Hey,
NFL.
hey,
I'm
AJ Brown went out hurt in that game with something wrong with a hand
And like
injury.
I said, Tannehill had a
No Julio.
terrible
Let's hit-
game.
Let's hit basketball before we transition over to football because we're going to have a lot to unwrap in basketball too before we dive into football.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm gonna be shit talking on both of them.
Hold on, hold on.
Well, I
got
just wanted to drop that because y'all know I never stay around for football because my team sucks. So
I got
I
the play.
got
You ain't
my
wrong.
plugs in
You
on
ain't
my
wrong.
good teams.
You ain't wrong. I
Unbelievable.
got to play my opening real quick.
Unbelievable.
I
We're
gotta
gonna let
put
him
my-
leave right now.
I'm gonna play my
He
opening.
can
All
hit
right,
him,
Josh.
Ron.
All right, Josh. You holler, man. I'm about to play my opening. All right, Tony C. It's you up, man. You gotta talk about this stuff going down with LeBron James.
I mean, if y'all want to talk about it, I mean,
Punk ass.
the man threw an elbow, hit the guy in the face. The guy was bleeding, and now the guy got 2 games.
Yep.
Ron got 1, and the guy got fined $950,000. So
Good.
I ain't got nothing to say about the NBA. And if I'm that guy, I can't think of his name right now.
Isaiah Stewart.
Stewart. When they play again, I think they play again Saturday or Sunday. The first time when I go in the game, I'm either hitting LeBron in the nuts or I'm hitting him in the, I'm just Chris Childs. Bye. I'm gonna get my $950,000 worth. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Here's
Y'all can take it from here. You know?
Isaiah Stewart gets a leg to stand on until he doesn't stop pressing to try and go in and swing after spending 10 to 15 seconds just talking to LeBron before people get between him and all of a sudden he's got something more he wants to fucking say. I am not going to defend what LeBron did. It was egregious contact above the shoulder. It fit the qualifications for a flagrant 2. He got ejected. He got the 1 game. That part makes sense. Let's not try and call LeBron a dirty player. It's the first time he's been suspended for a game in his entire career. It's only the second time he's been ejected in his entire career. So, but Isaiah Stewart, first of all, he fucking started it because he had his elbow in LeBron's ribs. LeBron was trying to get it off of him. The original call after the free throw got made was going to be a loose foul on Isaiah Stewart because of what he was doing to LeBron. So let's make sure everybody understands that Isaiah Stewart fucking started this. And then you have that dumb shit knocking over coaches, knocking over teammates, knocking over refs, knocking over other people.
Running away from security.
After he got separated.
Yep.
When he was right there in LeBron's face for like 10 seconds.
Yep.
He is a punk. He is a punk. He was showing off and he
I'm swinging.
he lost his fucking cool.
I'm swinging. I got LeBron right there in my face. I'm swinging. But
The league should have given him.
I'm sorry. Bow. I'm swinging right
No,
now.
Right.
And that's
You
the
get my
thing.
I'm getting my 900,000 out of it.
If
Damn,
he's
man.
such a badass, punch LeBron James in the face when he is talking to you straight up.
Exactly.
You got
Exactly.
a shot.
That's what I said. I
Exactly.
He
was
had a
sold on him.
shot for
I
a
was solo
second,
him.
and he
He
didn't
had
want.
it.
He don't want
And-
no motherfucking piece of LeBron James. I'll tell you that much right
And-
now. He doesn't
No, he
want
doesn't.
no piece of
I
LeBron
was
James.
solo.
And here's the thing.
Stole
I
right
think
on him.
I think he should have gotten 10 games and not as big of a fine. Because but the NBA only giving him a couple of games. Because really, like that $950,000, like in the grand scheme of things, it's a big deal, but it's not a big deal to these guys.
now
You take away games,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
to a young kid like that.
Mhm.
I mean, half the people that watch basketball didn't know who the hell Isaiah Stewart was until this shit happened.
Almost 17 years to the day of the brawl at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Yep. And this,
Almost
this
17 years to
dude,
the day.
and this dude is only what 20, 21 years
He's
old.
20
He's
20
20 years old.
He grew up hating LeBron. Grew up
look,
hating LeBron.
and look, I don't like LeBron. I don't like LeBron either for a lot of reasons. But if it was me, yeah, I would have soloed him right there.
Can I just
It's-
Can I just say that
And
real
that's-
quick? He wants to come back at LeBron so fucking bad that he has to run through his own teammates and coaches to get to him. punch him in the fucking face when you had the shot in his face immediately. Punch him in the face. If you want him so bad, punch him in the fucking face right there.
That would have been me.
What do you?
That would have been me.
The logical spot for that shit to happen. Like, here's the thing: if he turns around and just swings right then, you know what? It all makes sense.
Yep.
Honestly, it all makes sense.
And
My
exactly.
issue is if you only a couple of games sets the precedent that you can make a jackass out of yourself on national TV as a professional fucking athlete, and you're only going to lose a couple of games and a little bit of money.
I would have tagged him. I
No,
went
you-
ahead and tagged him.
You
Damn,
he
damn
saw
all that.
he saw DJ DeAndre Jordan standing back there, and he didn't want to. I think he tripped over his feet accidentally, real quick, because he saw DeAndre Jordan and Russ Westbrook squares up. Russ Westbrook straight squares up when he's running through those coaches and shit. For a second, he goes like this.
Russ ain't
Like-
want no smoke, man.
Nah,
And
Russ,
that's-
but Russ is
Russ
standing behind
wasn't-
DeAndre Jordan too. Standing behind DeAndre
And that's
Jordan.
why
Right.
Russ got the technical on that too, was because he squared up at that one point. That's why he
Right.
got a technical on that. But Isaiah Stewart would have been in so much of a better position if he either would have started swinging or just walked away.
And,
What he did is what made it worse.
and on another note, can you imagine the credit he would have had? Yeah, he probably would spend it for the season. But you imagine the credit he would have had amongst the other players? Oh, this is
No, he would have gotten. He still
nah,
would've-
there's a lot of guys that would have gave him credit for going after the lead dog.
No, I mean suspension wise, like he'd have gotten 10. If he turns around and Cole Cox LeBron for that, even though it wasn't like it was egregious, but it wasn't intentional. Like he turns around and just pops LeBron, he's getting 10 games. He's not getting the rest of the
Freestyle.
season.
Bang,
10
bang.
games.
Dude, literally all LeBron James is trying to do, which he has done thousands of times before, is when somebody locks you up when you're at the free throw line and they keep holding on to you, and he's trying to do is go and he's trying to throw his arm off. And Isaiah Stewart's head is low enough that he doesn't hit him with the elbow. He comes through with the hand, back of his hand, hits him in the lip. The blood from Isaiah Stewart's eyebrow is from one of his teammates trying to stop him from coming after LeBron James for a second time. Watch it again. He gets hit in the mouth with the back of the hand, and that's what bleeds. His lip starts bleeding a little bit. But then the eyebrow is actually from one of his teammates trying to stop him at one point.
I'm
He gets
just-
hit in the head.
I'm just
Either
glad.
way, I'm stealing on him.
Yeah, I'm also.
Mid-sentence.
I mean,
And I'm
Yeah.
also glad, LeBron did get suspended, because you got people like Chris Broussard and the man I cannot stand, Nick Wright, up at time. So you cannot suspend LeBron because they have the Knicks coming up on TV. I'm just telling you, it's business. The hell you can't suspend LeBron. Suspend
No, they
that
had
man.
to. You had to give him
got
a game.
to.
That's the rule.
Gotta give
That's
him
the
a
rule.
game.
That's what happens when you get a flavor
Yeah.
too.
You gotta give him a game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Treat him
Stop selling
the same.
out.
At least try and act like you treat LeBron the same. NBA.
Right.
Right. Stop.
Um,
Stop.
at least try and
stop
act like
trying to- Stop.
And
showing
also-
differential treatment.
what's the win streak for the Suns up to now? They're beating is it 13 now?
10.
Have they finished winning this
No,
game?
it's at 10. I thought it was at 10. I think it's at like 10.
It-
They're like, it's quite a few. The Suns are looking great. One more thing this is
Suns are
all I'm going to say
playing
about the LeBron thing. All I'm going to say about the LeBron thing. What do you Jesus Jordan fans want from him? Like, what do you guys need him to do now? Because the whole career now, it's because he doesn't have a killer instinct, because he's soft. He flops. He doesn't have a killer instinct. He hits a guy in the face, and now everybody's on the opposite side. You cannot have it both ways, Jesus Jordan fans. Let's get it figured out. Do you want him to be a killer, or do you want him to be the face of the NBA that he has been?
No, we want him to be a killer in the finals.
Right.
Not get swept.
Right.
Shit like that, and losing
Right.
5 and shit
Right.
like that.
Well, when you go
That's-
there,
I mean, just me.
Right
when you go
now,
there-
right now, the Lakers are 6.5 games back of the lead in the Pacific Division. Golden
they're
State's
number
ahead.
8. Yeah,
Golden State's ahead. Yeah,
that's
in
all
that
they need.
division.
They'll be all right. Sneak in there. Get it figured out.
Mhm.
We'll get it figured
Yeah.
out, Tony. Tony, we're gonna
Sneak
get it
in
figured out,
there.
buddy. We're gonna get it
Sneak in
figured out.
there.
So we get bounced in the
Your-
first one.
And
Bounced in
your
the first
reward
one.
gonna be either the Warriors at 8 or the play-in.
Tony, I
Yep.
Tony, I did have a question for you. Have you watched the Lakers like a couple times this year?
Absolutely.
Okay, I figured that you did. Do you see how weird it is when LeBron James leaves the floor? Do you see how weird their offense gets? Defensively, they're
Yeah.
actually okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're good defensively, but offensively, they get weird because Russ Westbrook is their point guard. And it becomes this weird, like, Anthony Davis is just going to ISO and shoot a fadeaway jumper, or Russ Westbrook is just going to run all the way around the floor and then try and pass to somebody for a three. That's their entire offense.
Can't do that.
Their issue is, I think everybody that they've played against has hit 100 points on them, if I'm not mistaken. And they're 9-9. So I think in all 18 games, maybe, and don't quote me, maybe one or two teams might not have hit 100.
You're right.
I'm pretty sure
they've given up.
Their defense is horrible.
They've given up 120 plus 6 times.
See what I'm saying? But
So,
100, I'm just saying
that's
100.
ridiculous.
You go into the game against them, the team is guaranteed to get 100 points. Come on, man.
Right.
That's hard to,
That's-
you know what I'm saying?
And yes,
You
and
know
you're
what I'm
working
saying,
against
turn
that
around.
pace too. You know, you're working against that
Right.
pace where they're scoring the whole time, and your pace is just not good. And they get reset, and then it's Russ Westbrook, and I don't know what the fuck he's doing half the time. And I'm serious, dude. I wonder what he's doing sometimes. Like I'm like, what are you even trying to do? Like I don't know what you're doing. You're all over the place.
He's a Hall of Fame player, yes, but does he have the best basketball IQ?
Here's-
Hell no.
Nope.
And he
Nope.
needs to be the guy. They need to build everything around what he does, and it's not successful.
Nope.
The guy's never been to an NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The
so
problem,
Yeah, he won
the
the
problem
one.
is
He went to that one.
In 2012, they won the one.
He went to that
the
one.
problem with Russell Westbrook. It's not that he's a bad basketball player, but this is not the right.
Fit.
This is not the right fit for him.
No.
And I would have rather seen them made a play in a trade for, as much as it hurts me to fucking admit this, either Chris Paul or DeAndre Ayton, because they would have filled a better gap in that squad than the results that they are getting from Russell Westbrook. Because
Tony, Seven, DeAndre Ayton does nothing for the Los Angeles Lakers. Honestly,
but he'd do more than
That's
fucking
not-
Russell Westbrook is. That's the point, though. I'm not
It ain't
saying
hard
it's a
to do
needed
that.
piece. It's that he would be making better results on that squad than what Westbrook is doing.
And LeBron is out.
Last night aside, because he scored 15 points in the fourth quarter and was a big piece for them coming back. So I will acknowledge that.
I still say Buddy Harold would have been a better
But this
pickup.
is the thing. There's no I don't understand how they could be losing and trailing to these teams that ain't supposed to be even on their goddamn level.
Right.
And they gotta
Right.
fight back to beat
Right.
the goddamn Pistons, and then losing to bro.
And they losing leads
That
to the
is
OKC.
something.
They losing leads to the OKC Thunder
Twice. I'm like, bro,
The loss to the Celtics on Friday night was rough too.
Oh
man,
The
they gave up 130 to
the
the
Celtics played really well in that game, just in their defense. But at the same time, like, yes, their defense is, let's just say, a bit porous.
Then my Bulls
It's-
came then my Bulls came in
it's-
there and knocked them off.
Yep.
The Bulls came
They
in there,
look-
knocked them off. The lackadaisical attitude of this team is amazing to me. I've watched like almost every game this year, dude, and like
That's a good
the
point,
lackadaisical
though,
attitude is unbelievable. Like it's
Yeah.
so bad. Like, and I think that's on LeBron because LeBron James is the coach of that team. You know that, right? LeBron James was on.
Damn.
LeBron James, the
De
Pistons game was
facto
walking-
GM.
He was
They
walking.
They
He did the
GM
facto
LeBron.
GM.
GM LeBron.
they had a stretch here where they had the 12 of the first 15 at home. So you know what that means. On the back end, you're gonna
All
have
on the
12 or
road.
15 on the
the
road.
Oh, mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mhm.
like you wasted these games and now you're only 500. You know what I'm saying?
And
Tony,
then,
I think
then-
this does get worse before it gets better.
and then
It does.
Denver's not up at 100%, but you know when Jamal Murray get back, they're gonna be a factor.
It's not even about right now. It's Denver. Not Denver. It's Phoenix, the Warriors, and everybody else.
Yep.
13
Yep.
game
West.
winning streak for the
Right.
Suns, including
Royal
tonight's
Rumble.
Rumble. 13.
Right.
So it's
Ain't Clay about to come back too.
Mhm.
And see, that's another thing. They got Klay Thompson over there breaking Clay case of emergency glass over here. Y'all over here playing, you know what I'm saying, going 500 and shit.
Right.
When they take off,
I understand. I understand that. But like, hey, just for we mentioned the 2012 finals earlier, guys, with Oklahoma City getting into it. I remember that. Do you remember who was the finals MVP of that year? By off the top of your head?
LeBron James was.
Okay. I was just gonna say that, and then the next year he was too, and then he went to
Since you want to go there, what about the year before that?
Year
Oh,
after that.
When JJ Barea was
When he was
giving
still in
them
the
that work.
finals?
people forget.
Oh,
about
dude, I'm the biggest Dirk Nowitzki fan of all time,
People
bro. So I
forget
love
JJ.
those finals.
people
I
forget,
loved those
People
finals.
forget JJ now. JJ D'd him up now. People
And
forget JJ.
Jason Terry sliced the Miami Heat up like they were just nothing. Just shooting threes. Jay Kidd's out there just 39 years old, just like making the correct pass. And Jay Terry's, it was beautiful. And Dirk is just working one-on-one.
But can I say this, Dan, about LeBron? The whole LeBron MJ thing is really not an argument. But the reason why people have the issue with the whole getting to the finals thing is one thing, big ups to get there. But when he gets there, there have been times that he's gotten embarrassed, yo. And I mean, no, just listen to me now. Just hear me out. He's either getting swept or getting damn near swept in 5 games, man. And okay, and it's not like it's a highly competitive last game of the series. That series against San Antonio before he left Miami, man, they beat him by like 50.
Mm-hmm.
50.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's nothing on MJ's resume or, you know what I'm saying, nobody like that. That if you're going to go out, you ain't going out by 50, man. 30, 20, maybe 45, 50.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I understand the complete, and like, dude, trust me, I've thought about the MJ LeBron argument probably too much for one human being to actually think about.
I can confirm that is the exact fucking truth.
So here's the thing. LeBron just makes the correct play all the time throughout the entire thing, right? And at the end, it doesn't change. Okay, so that was the thing. Like Michael always made correct plays as well. I'm not saying that Michael Jordan did not make correct plays. What I'm saying is that Michael Jordan would just take it at the end and go, hey, this is me versus you, one-on-one, cutthroat, killer, and did it all the time. I understand that. I love I love Michael Jordan, dude. I have a fucking picture on my grandmother's wall upstairs right now that is a Michael Jordan picture that I drew when I was like 6. But no, I love Michael Jordan. But at the same time, like, LeBron makes that same play, and he'll make that same play with 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter of Game 7 of the finals. He will still make that pass.
He did that one game. That was one Game 7 that he was in. I'm sorry, 2. It was one with the Warriors against.
And
I give you that. And then the famous one with the Spurs, right? And the Spurs gave that game away.
They did.
They
did.
So let me ask
2006 or 18 was the Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was. They won in 16 was the one with the Warriors, and 13 was the one with the Spurs. But
I was going to say 16. Yeah, sorry.
Right. But
the block.
This is the thing. Right, the block.
Yep.
Okay, you want all the accolades for coming through in 3-1. I give you that. But at the same time, you can't win a game in the other ones. AI, see, this is what, when it comes to the finals, I take the finals very, very, that's high on my priority list. If you
Me too.
Especially in NBA. AI played against the best playoff team, I think, ever. That 0-1 Lakers team.
Yep.
And he got a game.
Yep.
Feel me?
He was good enough to get your game.
He stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Right.
Like the biggest gangster in the history of everything, dude. That guy is amazing. I love AI.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
For LeBron not to get a game against even the 07 Spurs, he could have got it. Hell, the next year, the Lakers beat him in 5.
Yep.
So I'm like, that team wasn't like unbeatable.
Yeah.
And then he dismantled the Pistons to get to the Spurs. Scored all those points in a row or whatever he did.
Yeah. 23. I think it was 23.
Yeah, whatever.
Last 23 points. Yeah.
If you're doing all that, I'm saying you should be able to get a game. And see, that's why those sweeps mean more to me than anything, because we never saw Mike get swept.
And then
Right.
when did we see
Even at, especially in the pinnacle, in the
when
finals,
did,
man.
and when,
That's
and
big
when did we
thing for
and when did we
fair.
start being a country that just look at you for getting there? Look, the Buffalo Bills got the 4 Super Bowls. Ain't nobody calling any of
Will,
those teams the
and
greatest
they don't
of
get the
all
same
time.
respect.
Will,
They don't get the
LeBron
same
gets.
respect, and they don't get the same respect
Please
LeBron
do
get.
not compare LeBron James to the 1990s
He's a lovable
Buffalo
loser.
Bills.
Lovable
He's a lovable
loser,
loser.
lovable
He
loser.
has won 4 rings, bro.
But I'm
Did
just
the Buffalo
saying,
Bills win
but
4 Super Bowls?
but he gets more
He
credit.
got there.
4
They
and
got there. The
6,
same
right?
thing they say
Same
about
thing
the 6 losses.
applies, right?
Yep.
Here's the thing. I have to say, to a point, like, I respect the Bills for what they did in the early 90s, because let's be honest, if what the Bills did in the early 90s doesn't happen, you know how much more shit Cowboy fans would be talking, because they probably would have had some of that. Do you know how much? I mean,
Well, we got
like, let's be honest here.
That's who will.
But the Broncos, because that was the early part of Aikman's career as well, was in there. So, or I'm sorry, Elway's career. My bad. Elway's career. Broncos, because Elway's career was in there too. Like the Bills should get to the credit, because to get to 4 Super Bowls in a row,
Straight.
Yeah, straight,
win or lose, that's
Straight.
amazing.
straight.
But
Probably never
Let's
see
look
that
at
done
this.
again.
Nope.
right,
LeBron's
but
been to
but
11
then-
finals.
exactly. LeBron has been to 11 finals. Yes, he's only won 4, but he's still been to the finals 5 more times than Jordan has.
He went 10 straight years. He went 10 consecutive seasons. I just want to say that again.
I'm not going to sit here and say
But a lot factors into that. A lot of time he was in a weaker East. That East was not all
So you
that
gonna
East.
talk about
Bro,
You got
That-
to talk
hold
about
on.
though.
him
Hold on.
losing to
That
the
East was-
goddamn
That East was
Tahiti
always
Turkaloo
that,
them, goddamn.
yeah. It's not like
Hold
I
on.
mean,
That happened.
Hold on. Okay. You're going to talk about him being in a weaker East compared to Michael fucking Jordan in the competition that he had in the 90s?
God. Thank
you.
Are you
What?
kidding me?
What?
Are
Name
you
the hall.
kidding
Name the
me?
hall of. Name the hall of
Name
famers
your
that
Hall of Famers in the
LeBron
90s
went
that,
against.
How
as
many?
good as what Jordan went against.
Outside of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce,
Steph Curry,
D-Wade.
Clay Thompson.
No, we talking about in the East.
We talking about in the East. We talking about in the East.
Dwight Howard.
Guys,
Ha-
That's
Guys,
it.
We talking about in the East.
That's
Do you
it. That's
think-
4.
do you think Jeff Hornacek is as good as Bradley Beal?
No, that's in the finals. We talking about in the East.
We talking about the Eastern Conference.
4 Hall
Okay.
of Famers. 4 Hall of Famers. No, I'm sorry,
How
5.
many-
We got to throw Ben Wallace.
You got to throw
in there.
Ben Wallace in there.
made-
Yeah, Ben
Ben
Wallace.
Wallace
Ben
made 5.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ben Wallace made 5.
So now let's go back. How many did Jordan face?
Bird, McHale.
No. Hold on.
Got
Wait.
beat, got beat.
You
You
can't
talking
count
about?
Bird.
Oh, you talking
You
about in
can't-
this?
No. You cannot count Bird because he did not beat Larry Bird in the playoffs ever.
He
faced
faced
him.
Jordan did not.
He
Jordan
faced
did
him.
not.
He faced him,
But he didn't beat him.
but he
And
faced
you're
him.
not,
faced
if you're not
him.
going to give LeBron
He
credit,
faced
you can't
him.
give Jordan
Bird,
credit.
But
McHale,
LeBron
Harris, Dominique, Charles
What
Barkley.
Hall of Famers did LeBron beat outside of the 5 that I named in the East?
And you
DeMar
can't count
DeRozan not a Hall of Famer.
Steph Curry.
Kyle
ain't
Lowry not a Hall of Famer.
Steph Curry's not there yet. He will be,
Jason
but he's
Tatum not right now is not a Hall of Famer.
Nope.
These
How
are
can you
the
hold
people
on?
that was
Wait.
beaten.
How can you say Steph Curry's
Absolute
not a Hall of
madness.
Famer?
He's
No,
not
no,
gonna-
no.
I'm not
He's
saying
not
that
in the
at
East
all.
though.
Not in the East.
He's not in the East
not
though.
in the
He's not in
East.
the East.
All
We
right,
talking about
all
in
right,
the East.
all right.
We talking about in the
In the
East.
East. But
Now Jordan, Isaiah, Joe Dumars,
Oh my
Patrick
god.
Ewing.
Oh my god.
Charles
Come
Barkley.
on now.
Charles Barkley.
Patrick
So-
Ewing is Greg Oden. Patrick Ewing is Greg Oden of today. That's what Patrick Ewing. That's what Patrick
Damn.
Ewing would have done in today's NBA.
Damn,
That's
Shaq.
what Patrick Ewing would have
bro.
done in today's NBA.
Shaq, that's 5. I'm at 5 right
He
now.
at 5 right now.
I'm at 5 right now. Reggie Miller, 6. So he already done passed LeBron
Counting.
in the East. Yeah, Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer.
well,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
okay. So you're okay. No, I get
Dominique.
that.
Dominique.
But you're
He beat Dominique
He
too.
beat Dominique too.
Yeah.
You're
the
at
dunk
Come on now.
champion? Dominique, what,
On the way to
Dominique
the
Williams?
championships, he
The
beat
only guy-
Dominique.
Yeah.
The only thing he could do was just 2-step dunk. Yeah, that guy.
Charles
was, he was
Barkley.
awesome.
He beat
Dominique Wilkins was a
Barkley.
great player.
Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
But that one in the East, so I'm gonna take that down. That's finals. Who else he beat in the East? Radomski. Penny would have been a Hall of Famer.
It
but
would have been if he
hurt.
get hurt. Mhm.
Let's see. I mean, Starks, no Hall of Famer.
Nah,
Vince
hell
Carter.
Vince Carter, he ain't faced Vince in the playoffs.
no, not in the playoffs. Regular season, but not in the regular playoffs.
Okay.
I'm thinking on those Bulls championships.
Vince was 98, so that would have been.
Yeah, Vince came
run.
in like 96, 97, something like that. Right now I got 7-5. So
Okay. Right.
that's on the march to the finals. Now,
So let me and Seven sit here and think for 8 minutes now. We're gonna think about all of them too, because there's definitely
Hall of
something.
Famers now. Hall of Famers that play in the Eastern Conference.
When
During
LeBron was
LeBron.
there with them Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami
Guys.
Heat.
Cleveland, right?
Guys, but what I think you're missing here is, are you really saying that he didn't just carry some absolute garbage rosters into the NBA Finals by himself? Are you? I don't care if he.
Well,
okay, so yes,
How they
might-
garbage and they get to the finals though, bro?
That's what I'm
because they
saying.
have LeBron James.
I mean, you
because
looking
they
at
have
Vir-
LeBron James.
I mean, you looking at Virgil. I mean, I'm just saying.
But you can't be garbage to get to the finals. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
if you have LeBron James, you can. That's the kicker here. That's the kicker here.
So what
If you
about when
have
the
Virgil-
Magic beat
Hold
him?
on. Hold
What
on.
about when the Magic beat him
Hold on. You can't be garbage
and
and
get
be
to
in
the
the
finals?
finals.
Thank you.
You can't be and get to the finals.
Thank
Do we want to
you.
look at the professional athletes that have made the finals of their respective sports?
He's talking about
that
as a
were-
team, though, too. But
Right.
As a team,
But yes.
not per player, but as a team.
But,
But yeah,
yeah, but
yes,
Plenty of trash.
the rest of
players
the
have been to
team can be
finals.
if you have LeBron James. Obviously, that's literally not even a. That's not even a
Man.
debatable. It's not even a debatable
Man.
It's
thing.
having it both ways. They garbage, but they're in the finals.
Right. Have your cake and
I
eat
don't
it too.
understand that.
Have your cake
I
and
don't
eat it too.
understand that. You gotta convince me on that one. That's
Guys,
like
we-
saying the 0-1 Sixers were garbage. But damn, they beat the Milwaukee
They beat
Bucks
the Milwaukee
in the
Bucks.
conference finals with Ray
Mhm.
Allen, Sam Cassell, and Glenn
Oh, that
Robinson.
team's awesome. Yeah, with Ray Allen and Sam Cassell as their
Right,
only two players.
so
Oh yeah, they
That's
were
what I'm saying.
great.
They
Man,
they would
I
have gave the
mean-
Lakers a better series than the Sixers. But
I
the
love
Sixers
it.
beat 'em.
I mean,
I love it.
all I'm trying to say is I get LeBron got his fans. I understand why you like him, but at the end of the day, he ain't
He's
better
the
than
GOAT.
Michael. He ain't better than Michael. He ain't
He
the GOAT.
ain't go
He's the
through
GOAT.
the same.
He ain't the GOAT.
here's I
He ain't go
am
through.
He ain't the GOAT.
You can't be the GOAT getting swept, man. I'm sorry.
here's the
go.
thing. First of all, Bill
You gotta
Russell's
give
the
me a
GOAT, so
game.
you guys can all kiss my ass. But the
Bill Russell.
the thing of it is, you've got, because if
You
we're
gotta
going to start
build-
talking about championships, you got
you
Bill
got-
Russell's got 11.
You got a better
11.
argument. You got a better argument.
You got a better argument
with Bill
probably
Russell than
with Bill
LeBron.
The-
Mhm.
Really?
But
Oh,
One of
I
the-
didn't start this.
I was just fucking
I
with you
agree.
guys.
No,
But
you messing with me.
here's the thing. You have
I
to
ain't never
also
seen
look
Bill
at.
Russell get embarrassed.
Nope.
In the-
Okay,
in the
tell you
finals.
what, we've spent a lot of
Against
time on
those-
this. Let's
Against
let's
those
get to
those
football.
construction workers that Bill Russell was playing against, those guys had day jobs.
Look,
Those guys
the
had
whole-
day jobs.
the whole
Still
point
ain't
was-
never got swept.
Still ain't
There
got.
was
He
things-
still never got swept. You
Oh
know what,
my
Kevin?
fucking God.
Kevin Durant get hate both ways. He get hate for being a snake, for leaving OKC to Golden State, but he also get hates the other way for taking him to ring from LeBron. That's
The
why
next-
he get.
The
That's
next
why he
thing
gets
you
hated.
guys- The next thing you guys are going to tell me is that Kevin Durant's on the same level as LeBron James. That's what you're going to tell me, right? Both of you, probably.
Yeah, well, he only 2 rings
He
behind.
only
Oh
two
my
rings behind
God.
him.
Oh
Only two
my
rings behind him.
motherfucking God!
We're gonna watch Dan have a stroke on live on the internet.
Hey,
That guy
No,
really-
I'm
no,
gonna
okay.
just say this. I'm gonna just
Sometimes I
say
just
this.
can't take the hate, bro. Like sometimes the hate.
It
is
ain't
so
hate.
intense.
These are facts. He
These are
is 2 rings
facts.
behind him. And
No,
in
but-
2 years, they beat LeBron James 8 out of 9 games. I'm just saying it. That's a fact. They
Tell me,
swept
K-
him 1 year and
Tell me right now, KD.
8 out of 9.
Tell me right now, KD's not a great player. Tell me he ain't.
Not
Oh,
saying
I
he's not a
love Kate.
great player.
Hey, KD is top 13 or 14 all-time NBA players. He's probably in the top 15, I'd say. That's fair, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey man,
Because there's a lot.
LeBron better hope he don't get 2 more rings. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Dirk Nowitzki's my favorite player of all time, and
I love
Kevin Durant is better than Dirk Nowitzki is. I'll give you that, and that's an honest. And I think it's just by a little bit, but I think Kevin Durant as an overall player is definitely better than Dirk Nowitzki was.
I'll telling you who LeBron better be keeping his eye on right now. Outside of Kevin Durant. Forget Kevin Durant. You better watch Steph Curry.
A lot of time on this. Let's get some
better watch Steph Curry.
I like that. I like that.
Steph is 1 ring behind already.
That point guard who's never played defense, yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
he only got 1 loss in the finals.
Steph Curry knows less about defense than fucking Joe Buck calling a football game.
Oh,
Tony,
and he beat LeBron twice.
Hey,
Tony,
no, he beat LeBron for all 3 of his rings.
That football game yesterday, Joe Buck was terrible. Joe Buck is trash.
They both were. They both were.
Joe and Troy are trash.
We talked about how bad that was.
Oh my God,
that
they
game
are
yesterday
trash.
was horrible.
All right, guys.
Run your thing. Let's get into it.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna take a quick one. Come back. We're gonna bring back the huddle. Talk about the week in the NFL. Hang out with us. Listen to the Sports Report on Pinfall Streams. We'll be right back.
Sports.
We can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you. Yeah,
you couldn't hear me at all.
I just typed
Now
in
we
the
hear.
chat. I just typed in the chat. I said, "God damn, he's a good looking guy, but you're muted, Will."
Let me do it.
Muted.
Man, my mic messing up. All that LeBron James, all that LeBron James talk. Anyway, let me say this one more time.
You did that.
Let me do it again real quick. Shout out to our sponsors.
It's all right.
Shout out to our sponsors, Real Sports and Rays Energy Drink, code GNN10. Say 50% off the order with those guys. Shout out to Gamer World. Use promo code WXP to save 10% off those guys. Join us for Pinfall Podcast every 2 weeks. We're switching to every 2 week format over there. That ain't my idea. That's Josh's idea. That ain't me. You can't blame me, Seven. You can't blame me. That's Josh's idea. But we're gonna do it every 2 weeks.
That fucking guy.
We'll bring the best of professional wrestling. That's it. Those Sundays at 10 p.m. And finally, another really good podcast. I'll be back tomorrow night. Those guys gonna go over a Christmas movie. I still say Die Hard's a Christmas movie. If I'm right or wrong, join those guys. See what they got to say. 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's get into the hold on. Get into this NFL talk. All right, real quick. Monday Night Football is over. We had a blowout. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the New York Football Giants 30-10. But that's no surprise to anybody. The Giants suck as an organization, so there's no surprise. But let's go ahead and get. But we.
I was gonna say Tony C probably wants them to re-sign Jason Garrett and Daniel Jones.
Absolutely. Keep them there. Keep them there. That's the future of their franchise, bro. That is the future of their franchise.
He has seen the fruitful results of Jason Garrett.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh man,
right there.
Let's get into a game we thought would be game of the week, but turned out to be a dud. And we have two fans. We're gonna let these guys get into it. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Dallas Cowboys 19-9. I'm gonna let the winning fans start out first. Go ahead, Seven.
So here's the thing. First of all, this is Chiefs.
He hustled me and shit.
I will get you an address to send me my case of Dr. Pepper. I know Dan was pushing real hard for him to be dressed as Andy Reid and whiteface this week, but we'll make that a Super Bowl bet when the Cowboys grow up and finally make the Super Bowl. And Patrick's been in the league for like 10 years. But the
shots fired.
Here's the thing. The Chiefs defense won that game. Like, I'm not going to sit here in any delusional fashion and think that the Chiefs showed a whole bunch of offensive prowess yesterday. That was the Chiefs defense doing what the Chiefs defense was capable of, but they weren't doing. Like, and here's the thing. We were all ripping the Chiefs defense apart. They fucking deserved it. And I'm really glad that Dan Sorensen didn't spend much time on the field yesterday for Kansas City because he would have fucked that game real quick for the Chiefs.
What the hell was he anyway?
Andy Reid called a timeout, bro. Andy Reid called a timeout because Dan Sorensen was singled out against Tony Pollard at one point in the slot. And I swear to God, Andy Reid was like, nope. He knew
what was coming. Here's the thing. Dan Sorensen would be right at home on the Giants. Like that. That's where Tony C would like to see Dan Sorensen go. Is in the Giants secondary of the Giants. Yep. Or the Eagles. I'll give you that. Yep. But and by the way, everybody, next week we are going to have a special guest. Farzan I can't say his fucking name. Sports blogger, Chiefs fan. He is going to be joining us next week to hang out and talk sports. And talking about the Chiefs going in after the bye week, I figured I finally made some contact with him, and he only has like 26,000 followers, so he'll probably do numbers to our view count that the StreamYard's going to be like, is this real? You guys like showing your dick on cam for a change or something? Like, what's going on? No. I will say, for Cowboys fans, the officiating in the game yesterday was dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Now, the Chiefs got screwed over by some blown calls in the first half, and the Cowboys got screwed over by some blown calls in the second half. I'm not going to deny it. I'm just pissed that this is still a fucking problem. In a nationally televised game, they're going to put a wide receiving crew in that isn't paying attention because it was bullshit. I don't want the game of the week to have officiating issues. And that's not why Dallas lost.
No.
But
I'm gonna tell
it
you
happened and it shouldn't have. But I will serve this back over to you, Tony. See, I would love to hear your input.
Yeah, I want to hear where they lost.
Thank you. The reason why we lost, because reason A, number 77, big ass one out there. You didn't see 77 on that left side, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one. That's 1A.
It is.
2A is number 19 one out there because he's a knucklehead and then when they got a COVID. So that's 2. And then number 3, CD Lamb want to hit his head on the goddamn ground, and now he walking around punch drunk. So now we out there without 3 of our calls I think 7 should throw the goddamn bet out. If it was me, because no, this is just me. I would have
hear your point.
listen to me. If when I saw Tyrann Mathieu was on the injured list, I said, now if he don't play and Sorensen got to take his ass out there, I'd have gave you a reprieve on that. You know what I'm saying? Because then that ain't even fair. That's not even fair.
Like when I saw that Sunday morning, I almost shit my pants. I was like,
right. That's
no,
not
I
even
feel
fair.
you.
That's
I feel you on that one. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
I would love to see you guys versus us with 77 over there and 19 over there. And you know what I'm saying? Who the other one? 88 out there. And y'all hold us at 9 points then, goddamn it. Then I give you some, you know what I'm saying? I give y'all the big up salute.
As long as the closest to that field that Dan Sorensen gets is checking tickets up in the upper bowl, I'm down. Like I get that. I mean
even know
those
the Sorensen kid.
Why won't the Chiefs just cut him?
He's got to have something on his back.
We-
It's got to be a
we-
contract issue or something.
He got some on somebody in that
we've
organization.
talked about-
I don't know who it is.
We've talked about him on this show before being bad.
Hey,
Oh yeah, he's terrible.
listen, I went to a Chiefs game like 3 weeks ago, dude. Dan Sorensen is a crowd freaking favorite. That guy they introduced the defense starting
He the
lineup.
Mark Madsen of their team.
And it was because of those. He made some plays in the Super Bowl that they won.
Right.
He made some big time plays in the Super Bowl that they won, and that made him an all-time hero. And I don't think it's good for PR at this point to cut him.
No.
But I think that they should definitely get him to a spot where they're like, hey buddy, you're not gonna play much because this is a different kind
If
of
they
thing.
play the Cowboys again, formation wise, just hit me out on this 7. Everybody's healthy. All right, now we're in a 4-wide set, and we got Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Amari Cooper. 4 guys that are dudes for the Amari Cooper and Gallup and CD are definitely. Wilson more of a gadget guy. Now Sorensen gonna have to check one of them in the goddamn Super Bowl, and he gonna look like Troy Polamalu did that night when he had to try to check Greg Jennings in that goddamn Super Bowl.
Here's
what I will
say. Here's what I will say. Both teams in a full health, you get a shootout, and I'm talking if the score line is less than 100, the over is going to be the safest fucking bet you've ever made in sports history. Like, and that's just the way that it is. Right. So, because you're going to have, and you're right, in that kind of
way more healthier than us right now.
In that kind of a scenario, with those guys running 4 wide, even if Dan Sorensen has somehow managed to remove his head out of his ass and start locking down coverage, it's going to be, which isn't going to happen. But let's just say in the perfect scenario between these two teams, you're still going to have a 51-49 finish.
I like Dallas's
at
defense
a minimum
so much more than Kansas City's, though. I like Dallas's defense so much more than Kansas City's.
And Dallas's defense did some amazing things yesterday.
Chris Jones took advantage of that damn steal. I told my other partners, I said Chris Jones gonna have a field day, and he had 3.5 goddamn sacks.
My dick came out Jones.
And he
Ty
tipped
Smith
that
there,
pass.
he's doing that. He might have a sack, possibly.
Hasn't shown up all year.
But Ty still is the remedy for all things that.
But like, and here's the thing. Like, I shared an article on my page and in the Sports Report. I think I shared it in the Sports Report group this week about L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed he's the first man in his family to not be in prison. Okay. That's the environment that this kid came from. He's a rookie for the Chiefs.
He's so hit and miss for y'all. He'll make a play.
But that's
come
blow
back
coverage.
And get burnt. Goddamn right.
Yep.
Right.
And that's the thing. But he is making some plays, and so I'll respect him on that. He is right now, and that's sad. But he's a rookie too.
I think Charvarius Ward is the best corner on Kansas City.
You think so?
Yeah.
You trust him more than Snead, right?
Yes.
I'll give Dan that. No, I think he's right.
If I'm going one-on-one, I'm taking we'll put him on our best guy. Charvarius Ward's he's actually all right. Honestly, 35.
Yeah.
He's a good.
And what was
Amari
it?
Cooper would have made a difference.
He allowed a passer rating yesterday, Charvarius Ward, of what was it, like 5.1 or something?
That wasn't fair yesterday, man. Y'all got y'all mojo. We came to town at the right time. Still is horrible. Y'all more healthier than us.
And when
you're right.
took that early lead in Arrowhead, they take that early lead in Arrowhead. That place got loud.
I just want to say
one
more thing. Put a pin in this. I just want my team to be healthy come December. Probably, I'm crossing my fingers.
You got 2 weeks left. You got about 2 weeks left to get everything right.
Mid-December, I want to see 77, 19, 88, all suited up. Let's go get this thing.
Tony, does Dak Prescott ever win a Super Bowl?
It's
you ever picture him
so much has the factor. It's got to do with health. If 77's healthy, the Cowboys this year, people got to understand. I mean, they got to admit it, they're different than the other years past.
They're in the best position that they've been in 25 years.
No, I can't say that because 16, the defense was horrible.
Some Tony Romo teams.
No, 16 was Dak's rookie year.
Right.
Remember, Romo got hurt, but the defense wasn't as good as. This is the best Cowboy defense damn near since the 90s, and can't nobody dispute me on that. Even in 14, the defense wasn't as good when they lost the game in Green Bay. The defense wasn't as good.
There are people that forget that the Cowboys of the 90s, even though they had Aikman under center, were still really, it was more talked about for the quality of their defense.
Right.
Like, that was the bigger thing for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. They were one of the prime examples of defense wins championships.
Yeah. Now, this team this year is a ball hawking. If you throw the ball in harm's way against the secondary, the Cowboys is going to get picked. Other years that ain't
no, and you're not wrong. But yesterday you saw them get 2 turnovers.
Right.
2 turnovers, and they got 3 points out of those 2 turnovers. And one of those turnovers was in the red zone, or was close to the red zone.
Because we ain't healthy on offense. When you ain't got that left tackle, let me tell y'all something.
Left tackle important.
Left tackle is one of the most important, if not the most important position on the offensive line.
It's number 2
on the offensive line.
Behind quarterback.
Well, I'm talking about on the line.
It's the most important position.
Out of them 5, give me a strong left tackle, I can have, C+ across the board. But my left tackle's a A minus, A+. Or we could do some things now.
Obviously,
if you want a reminder
as well. So if you switch it right, so if you have a right-handed passer left tackle, if you
right. Most quarterbacks
blind side of the quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Your movie, your Sandy Bullock movie, Blindside.
Yeah, Blindside. You
saw
the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Long time Ravens offensive lineman.
7. What happened to y'all in the Super Bowl against Tampa?
And we got ate up because Eric Fisher tore his ACL against the Bills in the fucking AFC championship
game.
I told everybody before yesterday's game, if 77 don't play, they ain't winning.
Yep.
I don't even care about Gallup. Amari. I care about Amari Cooper, but 77 is more important because he holds down the backside on Pat and gives Dak a chance to step up.
Didn't they have rookies both?
Go ahead, 7. Sorry.
I was going to say, didn't they have rookies at both of the left side positions on the offensive line yesterday to guard and tackle? I was going to say, I think they were both rookies.
Also, Tony, Dak is not good at seeing pressure from his blind side. Really, he's really not good at it. So that it's especially important that they have Tyron Smith over there because
his pocket awareness from that backside is horrible.
It's not very good. Other than that, he steps up in the pocket and everything great. Honestly, I love his footwork, but like on his backside, he really doesn't see stuff very well because he doesn't.
He don't feel it.
Well, he's never needed to because he's got Tyron over there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got Tyron over there, so he's never needed to. So now it's just like when he's got pressure on the backside, he doesn't even understand why it's there in the first place because he's got 77.
One of Chris Jones the sack that Chris Jones got that was a strip sack. Like if you go back and watch that,
Still just standing there looking like
he was fucking. He didn't know what he was
lost
doing.
in the sauce.
You
And
can't.
people try to.
I'm sorry, but you can't put a fucking rookie against one of the
He's
best
not, and that's the
defensive
sad part. He's
linemen
not
in
even
the
a
country.
rookie.
Yeah,
He's
Steele's
not
not
even a rookie.
Steele's not a rookie, but he's
He's
not.
been in the league at least a handful of years. But
You can't put an unskilled person on that side, the same
Right.
side that Chris Jones is going to be coming at you from.
And
You
see,
can't
that's
leave
what-
him underguarded.
Then that's where coaching comes in with McCarthy, and that's where if we don't make it, it's either gonna be because of injuries, which is Ty Smith not there. We're not winning the Super Bowl if 77 don't suit back up. So to answer your question, Dan, if 77 ain't there, no.
Yeah.
He's a piece, he's a key cog to it even getting to that level. So
He's so ingrained in their whole system at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Absolutely.
what they've
Yep.
made it out
Yep.
of is like this guy is so fucking good.
the drop
That, like-
off is so dramatic between him
Right.
and
It
Steele.
becomes
Like,
a problem.
right,
All right,
right,
guys.
right.
All right, guys, let's go over some of these other scores, get some other thoughts out there, then we'll wrap this thing up on an extended version of the Sports Report podcast.
Yeah.
Thursday night, the New England Patriots defeat the Atlanta Falcons 25-0.
Respect Mac Jones, goddammit. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. We gotta start respecting Mac Jones. That kid is earning his fucking position. I don't like the Patriots just as much as the next asshole, but Mac Jones is earning it.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Listen. If we get mess around and get like the Patriots in the Super Bowl, this country gonna go mad. Because they used to send them there with Tom Brady. Can you imagine the Patriots fans?
Bill Belichick is finally getting over the divorce with Brady,
Yeah.
and he's finally in his new relationship and doing.
But
okay.
we can deal with with Brady because there's not necessarily Brady fans, but the Patriots getting to the Super Bowl without Tom Brady,
Be an issue.
obnoxious, right? Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that would be an
we ain't
issue.
gonna never hit the end of that.
Nope.
Hey,
Not,
It's fucking Marty Scorsese and the fucking Boston Patriots.
Right?
All right.
They're gonna make
Hey.
a movie about that shit.
Fucking
Believe
Belichick
that.
is wicked fucking smart. Go ahead.
well,
Yeah.
my, well, even go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
I was to say the Patriots are back into a form that we didn't expect them to be so quickly, and that's making noise in the league. And I will say to that point, I've got to respect Belichick and what they've been doing because they realized that Cam Newton wasn't going to do it and Matt Jones was going to do it. And they cut ties, they look forward, and they're kicking ass. So I got to respect what they're doing in New England.
The season is over for my New Orleans Saints. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 40-29. It's over for us. It's done. I know we got a lot of injuries, but it's donezo for us. Best we can do
It's
is
been
look
done
forward to
since
next
Jameis
year.
Winston was out for the season.
We
Sorry.
can look forward to next season.
His name is
Hey,
James.
look.
That's the
I'ma
thing
tell
about
you.
it, and the thing about it that's so bad. This draft coming up is like quarterback devoid. This is like the
Yeah.
worst draft for
not
quarterback
good.
coming
You-
up.
may
It
not-
ain't good.
Hey, Will.
And
it
they
may
just go
It
ahead.
may not be over for y'all because if 77 don't line up against us, Cam Jordan gonna have about 3 or 4 sacks, and y'all might beat our ass. So don't mail it in too quick now.
Here's
Keep
the
eye
other
on
thing
that,
we've got to
man.
look at with the Saints that I think, and then I think that this is a problematic move. They signed, they restructured, they re-signed Taysom Hill, and his deal is now built around what position he's playing,
Right,
and that's how he gets paid.
right.
I can understand why they did that deal, but what are you doing that for?
It
You
lowers
don't
his
want
cap-
Taysom Hill to quarterback.
It
You don't-
lowers his cap number from 8.29 to like 6 or 7 mil, and you keep him on the roster.
7.
So-
If you don't
Why?
think that they're lining Taysom Hill up at different positions and getting leaned on by management to line him up at certain positions, that's ridiculous. Like they're getting leaned on by management to be like, we only need to play him this many. If he's not going
Not
to play
only
quarterback all
that,
the time,
not only that, but a lot of Saints fans love Taysom Hill. We need to give Taysom Hill a shot. We give him a shot. When
No.
clearly last
You-
year during that 3-game stretch where he was QB, he didn't look good at all.
That's the thing. This you use Taysom Hill as a wildcat quarterback at best.
Mhm.
The rest of the time he should be in his fucking position.
I was
And
just gonna
even that
say,
is middle of the
He ain't
road.
got no.
Why are
position.
you
Which is
Why are you-
he's listed most of the time at tight end.
right? And that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, right.
he should be a second or third tight end and a wildcat quarterback if you're going to keep him on the roster. But they should be trading him away for picks because they've got a whole lot more problems. They need
And
to just go into full rebuild.
And with Adam Troutman being out as of the other day, he's going. We really ain't got another tight end there. Let's move on. The Miami Dolphins defeat the New York Jets 24-17. The Washington football team defeat the Carolina Panthers 27-21. The question I want to ask y'all is Cam Newton back?
Yeah,
Is he back?
No comment.
he's back, but Taylor Heineke people need to start putting respect on Taylor Heineke's name.
He played well yesterday.
I'm not saying he's an elite quarterback, but that dude deserves respect.
He played well yesterday.
he's a starter.
Yeah.
Taylor
He's a starter.
Heineke's a legitimate starter. He
Yeah.
is.
He is.
That's crazy.
He played
that's
well
crazy.
yesterday. He really did. Three touchdowns, over 200 yards of offense. Hey, doing the football, 3 TDs. Hey, you got to give it to him. The man played well yesterday.
I think Cam has gotten passed over a little bit on his play style.
Yeah.
I think it's just the evolution of the game has kind of passed him up a little bit as far as how he plays quarterback, and that is what it is. But that's continues to what happened is like you have to be able to throw the ball down the field. You have to be able to drop back and empty set 5 wide
Mm-hmm.
and throw corner routes. You have to these are the things you have to be able to do, and he's never been that guy. He's been RPO guy all the time,
Yep.
and that worked for a second. This is not that same NFL anymore. You have to throw the ball all over the fucking field because the rules and the flow and everything that's already the direction it's going. So that's,
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Indianapolis Colts defeat the Buffalo Bills 41-15. Jonathan Taylor is no joke, and he is clearly the number one back in fantasy.
Will, don't talk to me about Wisconsin. Don't talk to me about Wisconsin right now. Jonathan Taylor, don't fucking talk to me about Will. God damn, I'm just kidding.
He said that.
The
You
Bills,
said it. Oh my goodness.
the Bills aren't earning the respect that they were given at the beginning of the year right now. I'm sorry, they're not doing it, and they need to figure something out because they're we hear all this stuff about Josh Allen, we see all the spurts of good shit from Josh Allen, but what we don't see from the Bills is fucking consistency, and I'm getting sick of it.
Right.
They need to shit or get off the pot.
You don't see Emmanuel Sanders be consistent. Stephon Diggs have been consistent, and that Bills running game is terrible outside of Josh Allen. That Bills running game is terrible.
I was going to say, Will, let's not throw inconsistency in Josh Allen out with the bathwater. You know that Josh Allen's the most inconsistent quarterback I've probably ever seen, as far as like how far he can come from the top. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you'll watch him and you're like, God damn it, that dude is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. And then sometimes you're like, ugh, he doesn't.
Because
first of all,
Baker Mayfield is inconsistent, but the peaks and valleys for Baker aren't that wide.
No,
Like Josh Allen, Allen's got a really big peak, but that drop off is fucking brutal, man.
And it's like, and the thing that makes me concerned with the Bills, he is the running game.
Mhm.
You can't trust Singletary. You can't trust Moore. You can't trust Moss. You can't trust Tim Miller. He's their running game.
They need to re-sign Willis McGahee. He come out right now.
Damn.
Frank, get Frank Gore in there. Frank Gore will take 300 carries right now.
He was in Kansas City.
Frank Gore will take 300 carries right now.
He'll take it. He'll
He'll get 3.3 yards all day long. That's all you need.
The Cleveland Browns defeated the Detroit Lions 13-10. That's pathetic when you beat Detroit 13-10. The San Francisco.
Well, it's better than time, though.
Facts. The San Francisco 49ers defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars 30-10. Josh's Houston Texans get a big win, 22-13 over the Tennessee Titans. The game that ended up being the game of the week, the Minnesota Vikings defeat the Green Bay Packers 34-31.
Great game.
The Baltimore Ravens without Lamar Jackson defeat the Chicago Bears 16-13. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I want to say, so Lamar Jackson didn't play that game, first of all. So don't give him credit for beating the Bears. The second of all, the Bears had that game in the bag and fucked themselves. Matt Nagy needs to be fired.
Yeah.
There was Farzan. I was Farzan, I follow Facebook. He's going to be our guest next week. He tweeted earlier, fans at the Chicago Bulls game tonight were chanting, "Fire Matt Nagy."
Damn.
They're gonna start flying those planes over the stadium before when people are tailgating. They're gonna have the little strips behind them, like in
Fire
Wizard of Oz.
Nagy. Fire
Yeah, it's gonna be
Nagy.
Fire Nagy. Yep.
Fire
They'll be
Nagy.
around the stadium all the time.
That's
I
sound
can't-
about right.
I can't. I mean,
I
you
got
can't
shot.
defend the guy anymore.
I gotta shout out my man Mike Hughes. He's a big Chicago fan. He can't stand Matt Nagy either. Want to see him gone, and I'm kind of that way too, because you already see his influence on your boy Fields. So
Yeah.
he gotta go.
And I
He
will.
gotta go.
I will be with KW. That was it was a hell of a game and a hell of a finish with that game.
Thank you.
But the
They
Matt
had no
Nagy,
business losing that game.
they should not have lost that game. Matt Nagy lost that game today.
Fire Matt Nagy.
.com.
I hate to Nagy at you.
Ah,
Ah.
the Cincinnati Bengals defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 32-13. The Arizona Cardinals defeat the Seattle Seahawks 23-13. Russell Wilson, for the second game in a row, has looked like garbage.
You mean
Sierra's
Sierra's
husband.
Sierra's
Sierra's husband.
That's what I call.
Oh, that's what we call
fighting
him. I got you. I got
Sierra's
you. I ain't
husband.
know that. I ain't know that. I got y'all.
Tony,
I got y'all.
me and Seven literally do that all the time now. We're like, yeah, that's
Yep.
Sierra's husband.
That's what
bro.
we call him
Sierra's
husband.
on my channel. Fighting Sierra husband.
Okay, I got you. I know now.
Fighting Sierra husband.
I know that.
It's
I
and,
Sarah
and
husbands.
you know what? She needs to get her music career going again because he's not going to be bringing in money much longer. He keeps playing like this.
Come on, Seven.
He
Get
should
out
have.
of
He
here.
should have got the hell out of there when they lost their Super Bowl. He should
Hell
have got out.
yeah.
It was time for him to
And
go.
and that's the thing. And that's if they don't get rid of Pete Carroll, he needs to go. I'm sorry, but Pete Carroll's a problem.
Should have been left.
And we already talked about KC and Dallas. And of course, the LA Chargers defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 41-37. Justin Herbert, man. Ooh, that's a bad man.
That's
Here's
that
the thing.
KC game I went to.
That's a bad man.
He's good.
Justin Herbert is a bad man. I will concede to that. I agree. He is a great quarterback, and I think it's fun that he's in the division with the KC because those games are going to be great for the next decade. And I can't fucking wait.
The man.
But hold on, because I watched this fucking game. The Chargers defensive coordinator should be getting raked under the fucking coals because they had a decent lead and the Steelers came back and it was a game.
Mm.
That score is deceiving. The Chargers had that game for most of it until the Steelers started to come back.
Did they go into a prevent defense at the end or toward the end?
Probably.
Went into
Because
something
Because winning to something, because a prevent you from winning most of the time.
Guys, let's
Yep.
also not forget that Ben Roethlisberger raped people. Let's not forget that.
God damn.
Bruh.
Yep. Hey,
bruh.
Tony, don't
Rafe,
Said
go
that.
back. He did.
Yeah.
Rafe,
But
Said that.
look at this stat line for Herbert.
What is it?
30
I
of,
saw
30 of 41, 382 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And did he even rush for nine carries for 90 yards?
So they got
Yeah.
Kansas City
Dude,
in 2
he's
weeks.
so good.
yep,
He's
yep. But-
in that perfect spot too, where he just runs the offense. He just runs
He's-
the offense, throws the correct pass.
If he-
That's all they do the whole time.
If
Just
they
all
don't beat
scheduled.
Kansas City, all this is for nothing.
And that's the
Facts.
thing.
Facts.
Because he's coming, he's right. Tony C's right. They're coming into Kansas City in
Facts.
2 weeks. But guess what?
Mhm.
Yep.
This week is a bye for Kansas City.
Yes,
Andy
they are.
Reid is not beaten after the bye. So
The
this is going to
Chargers?
be the game to fucking watch. Yep.
The
Yep.
Chargers are going to SoFi, bud.
No, the
They've
Chiefs
already
are
been in Kansas City.
the Chiefs
In
are
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Not- yeah.
but the Kansas City's going to SoFi. It isn't. And
Oh, it's gonna be well.
I went to the San Diego
You went to
Los
the
Angeles.
first game.
in Arrowhead
Yeah.
in
Okay,
Kansas
you
City.
were
So now
right.
the second
Okay.
one is in SoFi.
Okay.
And who
Okay.
won that game? I can't remember.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
Okay, so the Chiefs need this one to.
The
prevent
Chargers-
tie
Yeah,
break.
and you're
You gotta keep this
coming
down.
off of Kansas City's coming off of bye. And it's not hard to figure out that Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL after his bye.
So
So
December the 5th, that
Good ones
weekend,
are.
y'all playing. Okay, they play that weekend. Makes
and
sense.
so
Excuse me.
that's going to be one of the best games of the year. I think it's going to be a shootout, but it's going to be the game of the year.
Should be. It should be.
All right.
All right, guys. This is gonna do it. Anybody got anything they want to get out there for a roll out on this extended version of
hold
the Sports
something.
Report podcast? Hit him, Tony.
Man, sorry about my tardiness, man.
You good,
Had
man.
a little issue getting the link, but I got here. Y'all come on over to Let Me Hold Some or Trap House 2.0.
Let me hold something.
Tony,
Gonna
I
be
keep
there.
a very
something.
strict tardiness record of this podcast, so I will mark you as that, and it will be said in your monthly report, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. I'm
Still
the
get
board.
an A plus as a grade, but the tardiness is going to be on there, just so you know.
I'm the
Oh,
member
my
on the board of
goodness.
directors that's over the HR stuff. That way, I can't get fired. So, Tony, you and I will be talking about your attendance
Right.
in the coming week.
my
in
God.
private, right after this podcast.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys.
With me and Will there as well.
I want to thank you
Okay,
guys for
principal's
coming on.
office,
I want to thank you guys for coming on. I also want to say thank you to Josh for coming on. Very quickly, thank you to KW for being here. We appreciate you being here, brother.
Yes.
Appreciate Pun for stopping by. And if there's nothing else, you've listened to the Sports Report podcast right here on Pinfall Streams. We'll see you again next week. Everyone have a great week. And
I also want to thank Josh's hair
God,
for coming on to the show.